bam 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 bada bada bam 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 bam. I've got to join a disco call. So there we go. Wonderful, 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 wonderful. Oh, wunderbar. Sehr gut. Jawohl. I'm gonna be honest, I thought it was Tuesday, and then I got an invite while I was playing Football Manager, and I was like, what the hell's going on here? I don't play F1. And then I realised it was time for a Coleslaw Cup. I was about to go to bed. Why can I not hear anything, game? Hello? I have to click. There we go. Hello everybody, welcome to the British Grand Prix. Set here in Silverstone in the southeast of England. Just in case there was any confusion as to the geography of the circuit. How is everyone tonight? I've got my fake Pepsi Max. I'm cooking. It's very nice. It's very cool. Just come out of the fridge. Galloway will be the first driver to go away on a lap. Heyo, can you give me an off-put thank you? It's just too loud. It's just too damn loud. Dun, 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 dun. Here we go. It's Galloway rounding the final corner to begin his hot lap. He's got a slow-moving AlphaTauri behind him who caused a couple of yellow flags there. Can he hook it up through the first sector? Can he nail the apex here? Not quite tight to the apex and not quite using as much curb on the exit, so definitely some time left there in turn 3. Should of course go purple as he's the first person to settle up. And it looks like it may have just been beaten by the Haas. No, it wasn't. Sharia, he's on an outlap. On the run up to Copse Corner now. Keeps it in 8th gear and then goes down to 7th gear on the exit. So it's going to be interesting to see what other drivers do through there, because I'm not sure if that's going to be the case. Let's have a look what VTEC does. LVTEC to be precise. He keeps it in 8th. Okay. What else? There's a... It's not DC Monument, it's Hightower. He's in 7th, but that's probably just because he's going slower than everyone else. I kid. 127.5 is the benchmark set down by Galloway. Beaten though by Fuse Rogue, who is then beaten by Jonathan Dunk. Will he be beaten by his teammate? No, he will not. Up to 4th place goes Deary Racing. Cynical also on a hot lap. DRS opening up there as he makes his way down. I believe that is... So there's 2 straights. There's the Hanger Straight and the Wellington Straight, and I'm not sure which one's which because I forgot. I'm pretty sure that's the Wellington Straight. I think the Hanger Straight is the first one. Or maybe not. Oh no. Anyway, no jug doing no jug things. Who cares? Across the line goes Cynical up into P3. Decent from him. Yo, 420, let's go. Gallo way off track there. Hey ho. Okay. Light work. He is very low on ERS and not pushing, I don't think. If he is, then he's not doing a great job of it. Here is Dace. He has a full battery and he is indeed pushing. Nice and wide on the entry there to allow him to carry as much speed as possible through the corner. And here he goes up to Cops, keeping it in 8th gear, taking plenty of curving on the inside. And the revs begin to build again, just for a few moments before Maggots and Beckett's. Two purple sectors there, at least according to the track map. I'm sure the first one was legit, I'm not so sure about the second. Over the curbing on the inside of the apex twice in a row, and then over the final corner it's flat out across the line. It's P2, 0.5 of a second off of No Jug, so he must have lost quite a lot of time in that final sector. Hightower's just vibing out there on mediums for some reason. Here comes Scornsy. What can he do? Crosses the line up to P3 with the 126.1. The bottom three guys all in the pits, having not set lap times. What the neck? I should have got a Red Bull. I just didn't realise it was Wednesday. See, I had an extra day off work this weekend. I had a long weekend, so in my mind it's Tuesday. It's Tuesday, my dudes. Not Wednesday, my dudes. But there we go. Should probably put up that as well. Oh, so many things to do, so many things to remember, so many things to forget. No Jug is leaving the pits for an outlap. Dace entering the pits at the conclusion of his in-lap. Scornsy likely doing the same. Yep, then he goes. Light work also on an outlap, only behind the McLaren of Slayerized, who I have gone past. Okay. Do you? That's interesting. Getting out of the way of other guys that are also on outlaps, I believe. Well, Lightwork is now the furthest forward driver on an outlap, so he decided he wanted to get to the front of the queue. I suppose. Fair play. You do you. I'll have to remember as well, no formation lap. So yeah, not to forget that. And across the line to begin his lap is NFS Lightwork. Easily flat through here, then you want to get nice and wide, open up the corner, get a good apex, then get on the power again to get the traction into the left hander, and using the curb on the inside and on the outside. Very good there, allowing him to carry the speed through those first few corners. That looked pretty freaking good there from Lightwork. There was a little bit of time perhaps left on the table through, would it be turn 3? I'm not entirely sure. I mean, I suppose that left kink would be a corner, so I suppose it is turn 3. Anyhow, upwards and onwards for NFS Lightwork as he approaches Cop's corner. Through Copse Corner he goes. Catching up to some traffic as well. Hopefully they will not be a hindrance to the Alpine's flying lap. The DRS wide open on that Alpine machine. I think he's going to be just far enough behind these guys that it shouldn't be too much of an issue. Through the final corner and across the line up into P3 with a decent lap time there. Solarized gains 6/10 on his best time up into P6 he goes. I think that's Sharia Coleslaw on a hot lap. It is. Crossing the line up into only P8. Poor effort there. Deary crosses the line. Doesn't improve. Not enough anyway, doesn't improve in positions. What can DC Manaman do? He's finally been let loose. Time for him to set his first lap. Ooh, he nearly went over the line there. That wasn't great. It wasn't a great turn 3. Missed the apex a little bit as well. Didn't get the best line, and he may be held up here by this Ferrari as well, as they seem to be doing either a double hot lap or perhaps that was an out lap previously, a second warm-up lap perhaps. Either way, they will not be yielding on this lap. I mean, unless they decide to. I mean, you know, it's perfectly plausible, I suppose. It looks like they're backed off now anyway, so they should get out of the way here for the Red Bull. Yeah, I mean, that wasn't great. That wasn't brilliant behaviour there from Deary. I can't lie. Not exactly sure what that was. Anyway, Fuse Rogue. He driving. What's DC Manaman gonna do here when he crosses the line? Oh, all the way up to P3, so close to the time of Dace, but not quite close enough. Fuse Rogue enters Sector 3, though I'm not convinced he's on a hot lap. No, he is not. That's a shame. Would have liked to have watched that. But M. Galloway is up 2/10 on his best time so far, so as that stands, that will not be enough to gain a position, but no, it's definitely not going to be enough to gain a position now. Knuckles is definitely blocked there by that Red Bull of DC Manaman. I think he has the right to feel aggrieved there. Did not have the most optimal line for braking into that corner, not by a long shot. Had to constrict his entry, and that will have cost him time, and it probably cost him a sub 27 second lap time. 1 minute 27 second lap time, that should be. But it's up to P11 for Knuckles. Three minutes remain of this session, and No Joke has gone out slightly earlier than the rest, or at least than most of the other drivers. Slayerized has gotten out the earliest, though he may be overtaken here by Deary Racing if he doesn't get a move on. We have Knuckles on his in-lap. He wants to go back in time to set another lap time. He should do. If he gets a move on, might be a little bit close actually. Should be okay. May have to do a slightly quicker outlap than he would have wished for optimally, but that Aston Martin is going incredibly slowly. You having fun there, pal? Alright, let's go back to no drill. I do wish I'd realised it wasn't Tuesday. I would have gotten an actual energy drink to have at the moment. Anyway, here goes no joke. Nice through turn 1, not off-sighted too much by the traffic. Even the pits, hopefully this Red Bull will get nicely out of his way. Not really, but kind of. At least not a lap ruining intervention. No Jug starting out wide but manages to get the car turned in and then set himself up well for Brooklands. He gets the exit, he sees another slower car ahead of him who stays well out of the way. Very nicely done there by the AlphaTauri. Then through Cops, he keeps the foot pinned to the floor. The revs sink underneath the aero load and into Maggots and Beckett he goes, keeping 8th for the first part and then down to 7th and then 6th. Back on the power on the exit as he gains the traction and he is almost 0.2 of a second up. Can he do a sub 1 minute 25? The soundboard thing isn't working, so oh well, we can't have a bang bang if he does. See, he doesn't anyway. Or does he? No, he doesn't. God, I'm glad he didn't after I said he didn't. A 125.059, they're very, very close. I'm sure he'll be a little bit annoyed that he didn't quite pull that off. DC Manaman, he has started his flying lap. What is Scornsy doing? He is on a hot lap and he is 100th of a second up. I think that is Dace just behind him. He's also on a hot lap. Qualifying now over in the sense of you are unable to start a lap now. However, if you are on your lap currently, then you may complete it. Scornsy plans to complete it and get himself further up the grid if possible. That is one boring helmet. And across the line goes Scornsy up into P2. That jumps ahead of Dace, but can Dace beat him to the punch? No, of course he can't. He battles it. Because of course he does. DC Manaman is also up on his time and he is not very far away from Dace. He's going to get a slight tow there from his teammate as well. Hopefully Hightower will then stay out of the way through the next corner. It doesn't look hopeful. That car ahead will not be helping DC Manaman's downforce through these last couple of corners, and it is only P5 there. He lost quite a lot of time in that final sector and I'm not surprised. What on earth have I just witnessed? Oh! 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 Oh my God! Sweet Lord of Jesus! That's a 5-place grid penalty for NLR No Joke, and that has definitely happened before this season, I'm pretty sure. Maybe he wants a little bit more of a challenge. That's a rather strange incident that's just played out in front of our eyes. Oh, formation lap is back on. Awesome. What on earth is going on? So, No Jug, Scornsy, Dace are your top three. Future Rogue, P4, DC Man, P5, Lightwork, P6, Shuri Coleslaw, P7, Jonathan Dunk, P8, Cynical and Slayer Eyes, P9 and P10. Galloway, Knuckles, Hightower, VTech and Deary Racing are the final 5 on the grid. Though, of course, No Jug won't be starting there, so it will be Scornsy on pole, Dace P2 and Fuse Rogue P3 will be how they line up on the grid. Well, I assumed that we wouldn't have any formation lap. So, I don't have any entertainment lined up for you guys, and I've got my kazoo here as well, but you can't start playing the kazoo at 3 o'clock in the morning, that's rather unfortunate. So it is. Hashtag fuck no jug, bro, let's get it trending. Can we, oh this is gonna be, can I do this late? I think I can. Yes I can. That's sauce. God, I don't need it to be this complicated, guys. Come on. That will do. That will do very nicely. Let's make it a little bit bigger. Let's pop it up there. Oh, lovely, lovely, lovely. Oh, simply lovely. How splendid. Oh, you love to see it. You love to see it. Oh, how absolutely wonderful. That's going to be there the whole race. I don't care. It's staying there. This is the Fuck No Jug Grand Prix, brought to you by Workday, a system for HR and planning. What on earth is that gap? I mean, Sharia as well. You're supposed to keep close to the car ahead. This is just how this works. Come on. Well, the pressure is on the drivers now. Are they able to park? Imagine driving around at over 200 miles per hour and being unable to park. Who could it be? Probably Dace. Let's see. Scorsy has parked. Dace has parked. Fuse Rogue has parked. DC Manaman has parked. Shri has parked. Ooh, Cynical has parked. Lightwork has joined. Awesome. Galloway has parked. Looked like Hightower parked rather enthusiastically there. I think we got away with it for the most part. That's very conservative by Deary and VTech. And by Hightower. Cuddlecle's not so much. Are we going to race? It is 3 o'clock in the morning. I would not like to restart. There is a car missing. No Jug is now driving around. Interesting. He's really pushing as well. This is a rather interesting one. For fuck's sake. There are going to be some nice tyres to start the race on. Hashtag fuck no Jug. Oh. Okay. See, this is why we say fuck no Jug. He's broken the lobby. This is what... See, guys, I see these things. Okay, I see these things in advance. He's retired from the session. He gone. And now we're waiting on light work. Oh, goodness me. We're going to restart, I think. Yeah, this will be a restart. Oh, fuck me. Oh, bloody hell. I wonder if you guys see the Steam overlay when I go on it. Yeah. Shouldn't do. I think you do. Great, I've got hiccups now, all because of no Jug. Oh man, I can't be doing with this. What else can we look at? What's going on in the theatre mode? Oh look, this is my career mode race. Would this literally be a replay of the entire thing? Let's go watch some Hungary highlights. This is where we're at this point, guys. It's that or look at the menus. So let's keep ourselves, let's not say entertained, but let's keep ourselves doing something. If it wants to load or open, that's a whole nother question, I suppose. Hashtag fuck no Jug. Let's get it trending. What goes on here then? This is my league that runs on Sundays, SFR. Of course, No Jugs on pole. Do I have to watch my perspective of everything? It's going to be a little bit less entertaining. Yo, look at this. Look at that move. Look at that. Oh, it's absolutely disgraceful. It's absolutely disgraceful driving. And now we're in the next sector. Alright. Oh yeah, that happened. I nearly died there. Still there though. Oh, lap 13. Safety car. No, virtual safety car. That's because a certain corner F1 decided to die in a wall. Oh, what happened? LOL? I didn't... I've never seen this afterwards. Tonesy. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, is this another disgraceful move around? Oh, this is when everything turned into chaos. Can I look from another angle at these things? No. And that is the invite just coming through, so after we watch me nearly die there, we should be able to hit play game on this invite. And now I should appear in the lobby. Hashtag fuck Nojo. Come on guys, let's get it trending. Hashtag fuck Nojug. There we are. Woohoo! I'm bringing that energy. Pray to the Lord that we skip formation at this time, I swear that. People better join quickly. Let's get this show on the road, baby. To take it all. What can we look at? Nothing too interesting. Oh. I'm hoping this music isn't copyrighted. Should probably change that. I'm just going to put it to 0. I'm going to change this back to soundtrack, because the soundtrack does bang. I'm not going to lie, it bangs. What's going down? Lanzi sent me a reel on Instagram. Cool, cool. I hate when YouTube does this. Just starts downloading stuff so I can watch it offline. Like, I didn't ask you to, bro. Stop it. You don't need to download stuff when I'm offline because I have data, so I don't go offline. See how that works? It's kind of incredible. Ah, salute to him, Galloway. Good lad. Okay. Okay, it's time to ready up. Bum 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 bum. Ba da da do 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 do. Someone's playing Star Wars Jedi Survivor. It's rather interesting. I'm absolutely cooking on Football Manager at the moment. It's incredible. We're on like a 15 game unbeaten streak now. It's insane. Don't even know how it's happening, but it is. I'm just the best. Simply the best. Yeah, better than all the rest. Okay. Now, will everybody remember to put their setups on? Probably not. Will some people? Probably yes. Will they get a big advantage? Absolutely. Are you a bozo if you don't put your setup on? Indeed. No, we wait. Do 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 do. And here we go. Why, what? It's 5 red lights and away we go. LOL XD. Why the hell is Nojik on pole? He killed someone and got a penalty for it, but I suppose that doesn't matter anymore. Scornsey on the inside, but loses out to Dace, even possibly, who is now on the outside. Yellow flags as well. We've got an Alpine around that looks like light work. Dace looks to be taking the position here. Can Fuse Rogue get in amongst it? He might want to make this 3 wide. Now he lifts off. You coward. Scornsey reclaims P2 around the outside. Fuse Rogue in his own little battle here though with Shreer Coleslaw, who tries to go around the outside, but look at this, it's opened the door for Jonathan Dunk, who Jonathan dunks on Shreer Coleslaw, but not for long. Haas driver coming back at him around the outside. It's going to be side by side through Cop's corner. Cars ahead, retaining their positions that they're currently in, and Jonathan Dunk does win out in that battle for position, at least for the time being. Here comes Dace. He moves to the inside of the corner, makes it past Scornsey. Cynical and M. Galloway are still side by side. M. Galloway has the inside going to this next corner, but around the outside tries Cynical. Can he hold it? No, he can't. He can't even find the switchback either. He has to concede that position. No Joke, of course, setting the fastest lap of the race as he's P1, and it's the first lap of the race. Already out of a second of Dace. Hashtag fuck no joke. Hightower though, pretty close behind Knuckles, who is himself not far behind the fight that's happening ahead, the McLaren Civil War of Slayerized versus VTEC. Slayerized will want to come back at VTEC here. Fuse Rogue might have a crack at Scornsey further up ahead, but we are on board with this one. VTEC to the inside. Slayerized tries to hang it around the outside. VTEC's not going to give him... he's going to give him quite a lot of space, actually. And he looks at the switchback here, actually, on VTEC, but Slayerized can't get it done. Slayerized, sorry, leaving the space for VTEC, not the other way around. Ugh, goodness me. I'm not used to VTEC being ahead of people. Here comes M. Galloway. He wants to try and get past Shreer Coleslaw if he can. Scornsey pretty close behind Dace, but he's not going to be close enough to mount a challenge into this next corner. Neither can Fuse Rogue, just behind him. Hightower may look to make a move on Deary, but thinks better of it. Scornsey is right up behind Dace now. No Joke setting another fastest lap of the race because hashtag fuck no joke. Scornsey not going to be close enough to make a move this time around. He does seem to gain in a straight line. He does, of course, have the slipstream, which will help with that. Fuse Rogue isn't far behind this little scrap either. He's actually within it, I suppose. Hightower and Deary racing, though they're still fighting side by side. Never mind. I wish the soundboard would work, is all I can say. Anyway. This could be Scornsey's chance to go on the inside. He thinks better of it though. He's going to stay behind Dace for the time being. DRS now enabled as well, and both of these drivers here, but Fuse and Scornsey hitting different curbs respectively, and using quite a lot of time, and that's going to let Dace scamper away ever so slightly. Of course, nowhere near out of the DRS range, but enough to alleviate some of the pressure. That's Deary Racing, who finds himself the wrong way around. He needs to be careful of that curb, doesn't want to get stuck on it, and doesn't get stuck on it, so very well done. Slayrise has DRS. VTech does not. This is going to put VTech under a lot of pressure here. Slayrise doesn't send it, and probably wisely. Oh, light work. What are you doing, mate? I don't know if somebody's gone around and laid oil all over the track before the race. Maybe that's what No Jug was doing on that second lap he did to the grid. As we see, Slayrise get past VTech. Hashtag fuck No Jug. Maybe I need to make that black. I feel like the racing might be slightly more important. Probably not actually. Fuck No Jug. Scornsy may finally be able to get past Ace here if he can just keep the traction under control through that last little complex. He will have the DRS down the next straight. DRS wide open, he has the slipstream as well, but he's just not quite gaining enough on Dace to make the move just yet. Has the slipstream all the way up to Cops as well to try and close that gap down a little bit more. Of course, you then lose time in the dirty air through the Maggots and Beckett's section. Fuse Rogue still keeping close behind, though he has missed the apex down the first part of Maggots and Beckett's, which won't help him in trying to keep close to these guys ahead. Once again, Scornsy just finds himself a little bit too far behind. But M. Galloway isn't too far behind Sharir Coleslaw. Past he goes. VTech has span, but he is not in a dangerous position. Sharir Coleslaw will want to retake that position when possible as well. You can really see the effect of the dirty air there. The tyres, of course, probably experiencing a little bit of wear by now as well. It is lap 6, 20% of the way, actually over 20% of the way through this race. Of course, 26 laps, and we have done 6, so we have 20 remaining. Quick maths. Can you guys believe that I just did 26 minus 6? That is, quite frankly, incredible. 2 plus 2 is 4, minus 1, that's 3. Quick maths. Everyday man's on the block. There you go. Saw Coleslaw in the park. That Coleslaw was uckers. When the thing went pop, 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 I said fuck no joke. Okay, I'm gonna stop now before I write a song. Sharir should be able to get the move done here on M. Galloway. It's going to be very difficult for M. Galloway to defend this one. DRS wide open on the back of that Haas car as well, and sayonara. See you later. Nobody has pitted just yet as well. Probably is a little bit too early for that on lap 7 of 26 that we're now going on to. But people will start thinking about it on those soft tyres probably pretty soonish. Jonathan Dunk, though, he has snuck up to the back of this little pack like a snicker slithereth the neck. He's got a full battery as well, which is something that Fuse Rogue I think very much wishes that he had. It's going to be a big advantage for Jonathan Dunk. That ERS discrepancy may well work to Fuse Rogue's detriment. We will see though, because right now he's holding onto the coattails of Scornsy. I need to turn this other setting up. Oh look, I can hear myself now. Perhaps I will be able to speak correctly. Seems rather unlikely. Can Jonathan dunk on him? He's going to be using the ERS. He's got the DRS, he's got the slipstream. This is his chance. He's tucked up right behind the Avatar. He's going to move to the inside. The Avatar are trying to fight it back around the outside. It's Fuse Rogue and Jonathan Dunk side by side, and still side by side as they approach the Vale chicane. On the outside, Jonathan Dunk turns to the inside, and Fuse Rogue is still there. They're still going to be side by side as they exit the final corner, and it looks like Jonathan Dunk has just got that move done. Fuse Rogue seemed to have washed a little bit wide there, and it's cost him a little bit of time, a little bit of speed, and it's ultimately cost him 4th place, at least for the time being. But he will want to come back at Jonathan Dunk as soon as possible, and Jonathan Dunk will not have the DRS to defend with, as that fighting has dropped them out of the DRS range of the Aston Martin in front. Scornsey still all over the back of Dace, but still not quite close enough at the beginning of the DRS zones in order to make a pass work. May need to try it somewhere unorthodox if he wants to get this move done, or perhaps he will nail an exit out of one of these corners and nail Dace down at the DRS straight. Of course, Dace is not a DRS this whole time. Yeah, he has been getting good enough exits to keep Scornsey comfortably behind. And again, Scornsey just struggling with the rear of the car through there, and he's unable to get the power down, can't get the exit that he needs, and Dace lives to fight another straight. Shreya flying up to the back of M. Galloway out of absolutely nowhere. Sure, those soft tyres aren't in the best of conditions anymore as we get on to lap 9. This race far from stitched up and done though. Contrasting strategies between the second and third place drivers and the first place driver. Of course, Dace and Scornsey both on the mediums and No Jug on the softs, and that does make a difference. Jonathan Dunk is also flying on his mediums. He's now close to within a second of Scornsey. Fuse Rogue could not hold on to the back of him, and he's going to fall away. He's lost the DRS now, he's fallen out of the DRS train. Oh, goodness me. We've had him with Scornsey here, see if we can get the move done on Dace, and then we will go and look at Coleslaw and see if he gets the move done on M. Galloway. And if neither of them get moves done, well then I'm just going to be disappointed. Hashtag fuck no jug. I think Scornsey is just going to be too far behind yet again, but somebody who won't be too far behind is Coleslaw. He should be able to try and mount a challenge, though he's not quite going to be close enough unless he can try something here. Something a little bit brave, a little bit unorthodox, but instead he decides to pull the strategic trigger. The first of the soft tyre runners into the pits. No Jug, also on the soft tyres, still out there, though he has been running in clean air, of course. Has had less to worry about in terms of using up tyre to fight for position. A few changes of position playing out now because of the pit stop of Coleslaw, as he drops all the way down to 14th and maybe even 15th. He's going to come out pretty close actually with Deary Racing, though I think he's just gonna have this. Deary will have the DRS though, but yeah, we'll see, because of course Coleslaw's tyres will be cold and Deary is on hard, so it's not like his have had much wear, and he just decides to drive over the sausage curb and he's bowled it. Again, here goes Scornsey with the DRS with the slipstream. If he'd used the ERS all the way down the straight, he'd be going for a move here. He may still go for a move anyway. Dace needs to be careful not to go a little bit too wide there, because Scornsey would have snuck up the inside. No Jug into the pits, and No Jug picking up a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pits. Dace style, hashtag fuck No Jug. This is a cause for celebration. No Jug will start to fall down the order. This is, I think, quite possibly the longest pit lane in terms of delta on the entire calendar. It's a 36 mph speed limit, I believe, is the speed limit for this pit lane, and that has caught a No Jug off by surprise, which is great news. Fuck No Jug. The DRS open for Scornsey for the 22nd time or so. Actually, not the 22nd time. It'd be the 16th time, right? Because 2 DRS opportunities per lap for the first 3 laps. Actually, no, because it's the first 2 laps, isn't it? Really, because you get it on the 3rd lap. So it'd be 18. Well, there we are. 18th time. There you go. Quick maths. But actually, that was the first DRS zone of the lap, though, so it wouldn't be. It would be. It would actually be 17 times, but this would be the 18th. But yeah, wow. Also, though, Dace wasn't ahead of Scornsey at one point, but I think that may have happened before the DRS came into play. I don't know. Anyway, can Scornsey take this position from Dace? He's trying everything. He's ducking and weaving and bobbing and beaving, but there's just nothing he can quite do to get his way past. Jonathan Dunk, though, should be able to get past Hightower here. Hightower holding him up, and that's another car off ahead as well. That is NFS Lightwork. Meow. Goodbye. And M. Galloway is into the pit lane as well as Fuse Rogue now. No Jug appeared in P9. Scornsey and Dace, but I hope that they can keep up a good pace and hopefully come out further ahead in the field than No Jug did and gain time that way using the overcut, though No Jug will be flying now. He's coming up to the back of DC Manaman. Can DC Manaman hold up NLR No Jug? Probably not, considering just how much quicker No Jug is. That's insane. DRS open as well with the slipstream. It's going to be difficult for DC Manaman to defend this one, as to the inside goes No Jug, and I don't think DC Manaman is going to put up a fight there. No, he does not. The Silver Arrow, can't speak, goodness me, makes the move stick. The Silver Arrow. Anyhow, Scornsey yet again will not be close enough to Dace. It's like I'm watching the same thing on repeat. What is that? What is that film? Groundhog Day, is it? I don't freaking know. I thought Click, but that's Adam Sandler when he has that remote control in it. I've not actually watched that. I have heard of it though. Of course, No Jug has a 5-second time penalty as well, don't forget that. Hashtag fuck No Jug. Hightower has had a little excursion, a little adventure, and now he's going to lose a position to M. Galloway. And yeah, Scornsey into the pits. He wants to undercut Dace because he's realised he's not getting past on track. Not at this rate anyway. No Jug should undercut Scornsey and come out ahead of him on track, though he's currently behind his teammate Knuckles. And yeah, that is the fastest lap of the race so far from No Jug, because of course it is. Hashtag fuck No Jug. Go on, Knuckles, you. Go on. Go on. Set him on fire. Go on, Knuckles, you can do it. Burn, baby, burn. That's a pretty easy move there for NLR No Jug. Not much that Knuckles can do there against the fresh tyres as well, and time to find out whether we will see Dace pitting this lap. Will he go long and try and go medium soft, for example? Who knows? I don't actually see what Scornsey went onto, but I'm assuming hards. Yep, hards. I'd be very surprised if he went onto anything else, but that would be kind of interesting though. Dace does stay out, so he's realised if he pits now, he's probably just going to come out behind Scornsey and it's over. It's Jova. It's too late to come in and still get out ahead of Scornsey. So let's go long. Let's do something different. See what happens. Can't fault it. Scornsey now has the DRS. Still doesn't have much ERS saved up in the battery. However, he is gaining on Jonathan Dunk. And ahead of Jonathan Dunk, we see DC Manaman come into the pits, have to lock up to get the car slowed down, but does get the car slowed down, so all is well. Shreer making his way past DC Manaman, who is in the pits. We'll see if Scornsy can finally dispatch of Jonathan Dunk. The DRS open on the Aston Martin. The DRS flaps just don't look that big anymore, do they, compared to what they were a few years ago. Back in the day, mate. I swear they just looked huge. I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping major nutsack right now. This isn't great for Scornsy though, he's going to get held up through Cop's corner. And more than likely through Magnus Beckett's as well, because you don't really want to overtake that. The trade-off being that he will at least get the DRS down this straight, and be very surprised if he can't dispatch of Jonathan Dunk. He desperately needs to. To the inside he goes, but he doesn't brake late enough. He could have made that move there, but he didn't. You can see, you'd think you can see Nojik ahead, but it's actually Knuckles. I got pranked by that as well. Yellow flags as well. We've got a Red Bull off there of Hightower, I believe that is. And all back to greens. Jonathan Dunk really struggling on his ERS, but he's going to be saved here possibly by Knuckles, who's going very slowly, and it's going to give Jonathan Dunk the DRS, and Scornsy's having a terrible time here because Jonathan Dunk is making him lose so much time, but he can't get past in a straight line. Look at that, Jonathan Dunk pulling away from Scornsy, who must have a pretty high, slightly higher wing setup at least. And this is painful for the Aston Martin man, and this might help Dace come out ahead of him, honestly. If Dace were to pit now, there is a Red Bull in, that's Hightower into the pits. And this could be Jonathan Dunk's opportunity to get past. He will want the DRS though, so he'll want to make sure he passes after that line, and he's going to try and make the move through Magnus Beckett's, and he does. And now Knuckles, oh! Knuckles nearly losing the place to Scornsy there, does in the end, but Scornsy had to hit the brakes, and that's going to slow him down a lot. Jonathan Dunk scampers away. And Scornsy's almost out of the DRS range of him after that. And this is Dace's chance if he wants to pit, but he's going to continue on going. He's in the first sector at this moment in time. Scornsy is about 26 seconds behind Dace. Hey, look at that. No, that's Jonathan Dunk, 27. God damn. God damn it. God damn it. Oh well. I'm only 1 second away. Scornsy should be able to get past here. But who'd be surprised if he didn't? Nope, no one. Cool. And yeah, once again, can't get past. He does have the opportunity to try and get him though out of Magnus Beckett. That's going to be his best chance, unless he wants to go for it now actually. Jonathan Dunk clearly the slower car here between the two of them, but Scornsy's just struggled to get past, and will he finally be able to make the move here into Cops? It seems risky. Yeah, he doesn't go for it. Scornsy being more conservative than that, a little bit cautious, not wanting to throw a decent race position away. He has to make the move now though. He just struggles through those last couple of corners with the dirty air especially. He's going to use the ERS now. He's got the slipstream, he's got the DRS wide open, and this should be an easy move for Scornsy. I don't see how Jonathan Dunk can fight this one back, and he can't. Or can he? Because he's now on the inside. What is going on? Scornsy must have gone wide there. Oh my god, what am I? What? This guy's supposed to be good. Dace is in the pits, and he will come out firmly behind Scornsy, I believe. Or maybe not, this may be close. He should come out behind Scornsy. He does come out behind Scornsy. No, yes. But he's on softs, and that's the big difference. He's got 9 laps left. Scornsy has spent so much time messing about with Jonathan Dunk that No Jug is also going to win this race, even with a 5-second time penalty. Unless Dace can go on a madness. Will Scornsy finally get past the freaking Ferrari? I wish Nojug had gotten stuck like this. Hashtag fuck Nojug. And finally, Scornsy gets the move done and then nearly gets hit around by Jonathan Dunk, who breaks quite late there, carries quite a lot of speed into the corner and was staring down upon the rear of Scornsy's Aston Martin. Hashtag fuck no joke. Fuse Rogue picking up a 3-second time penalty. Quite a lot of people with time penalties now. We've got 9 laps remaining in this race. We're flying along. It's brilliant to see. Action-packed. Dace is catching rather quickly as well onto the back of Jonathan Dunk, who is staying with Scornsy and will maybe look to make a move to the inside. Thinks better of it though. And you'd think Scornsy will be able to lose him here, but I can't predict anything with this little Scornsy battle because he just keeps breaking my expectations in the way that Scornsy doesn't usually. He usually breaks your expectations by smashing them. So far he's struggled to get past the slower car for quite a few laps, finally has done, and now he's struggling to drop the slower car. And yeah, Jonathan Dunk will have the DRS here as well. Perhaps I'm just being too harsh on Jonathan Dunk, but who knows. Dace is now on the scene. Perhaps Scornsy just wishes to give Jonathan Dunk the DRS to defend from Dace. I mean, I doubt it, but perhaps. Maybe he knows he can just hold Dace in the DRS train where he's unable to get by, but I wouldn't bank on it with those soft tyres. They're going to give such a tremendous advantage, and yeah, he's just going to cruise past at some point. He'll get to a corner. There it is. There's the mistake. Jonathan Dunk getting some oversteer. Dace to the inside. Jonathan Dunk tries to deploy ERS to defend, and Dace isn't going to use ERS to attack. Yeah, decides not to go for it. Into Maggots Beckett's perhaps the wise decision for once by the flying fish. Or should I say the floundering fish. DRS open now for Dace. He does have a significant ERS advantage though. Jonathan Dunk continues to burn. It's kind of like Knuckles really, but in spirit. I don't see how Scornsy's going to defend this one, and then Dace needs to get his head down, gain time and get within the 5-second range of Jonathan Dunk in order to claim this victory, all without picking up a time penalty. Most importantly, I don't trust Dace to not get within that 5 seconds and then pick up a 3-second on the last lap because he's Dace. Should be able to cruise past Scornsy as soon as he gets the DRS here. I think he already has a straight line advantage over the Aston Martin as it is. And yet, here goes Dace, and Scornsy defends incredibly aggressively. They do touch, and Dace is going to make that move down the inside. Scornsy no way to fight back, and now Dace needs to get his head down and catch up to No Jug, which he should be able to do on pace with those fresh, soft tyres. But we will see. No Jug on the mediums though, which will gain a little bit of an advantage later on in the stint. This is going to be an interesting one to see. 6.6 is the current gap. It's down to 6.5. I'm not going to follow it each tenth the whole way there, but it is down to 6.4 now. Guess what? Go on, go on. You know you want to. Go on, you know you want to. Hey, it's down to 6.3. But only for a moment, because there we go, it's down to 6.2. Dace flying along just needs to keep this speed up and try and look after the tyre a little bit. So it's not completely cooked and Jova by the end. He doesn't need to catch No Jug, just needs to get within 5 seconds of him and gain the position post-race due to penalties. Swansea now struggling to stay even within the DRS range of Dace, and he's hardly got any ERS to use as well to supplement that pace, and I think Dace may just pull that 1 second gap here now, and he does, yes. Jonathan Dunk will also fall out of the second as well. Galloway and Coleslaw, though they are side by side. Galloway making the move down the inside, a very good move there by M. Galloway in the Alpine. 5.4 now the gap between Dace and No Jug. Sharia wants to come back at Galloway. Oh, that would have been a fun one Most certainly. Hashtag fuck no jug. Coleslaw trying to make that move around the outside, but he can't quite get alongside, but he can now, and into the Vale chicane he goes. Galloway, will he leave at the space? He does. That's a hot spot for instance down that inside corner if you don't leave the driver in the inside space and they hit the curb and they go into you, and it's all sorts of bother, but they've kept it clean so far, and now Sharia should pull away. No! And Galloway swoops around the outside and covers a longer distance in a shorter amount of time. Dace now within the 5 seconds at 2 no jog. Jonathan Dunk trying to catch back up to Scornsey and is successful at it so far. Shreya with the DRS to try and gain back up towards Galloway, who pulled a little bit of a gap through those few corners there of Sector 1. Of course the dirty air does still factor into play, even if these cars are much better at dealing with it and much better at not creating it in the first place, which is the main crux of the issue. Goodness me. It's been a quick one though so far. It's been an entertaining one as well. It's been good to see DC Manama pick up a 3-second time penalty for being a bozo, is what it says up there. You don't need to read it, just trust me. Take my word for it, that's what it says. Only a few laps remaining now as well. Dace will be able to see No Jug ahead of him. Sharia keeping the pressure on Galloway. DC, Manaman and Cynical finding themselves in a fight because I'm unable to read deltas apparently, and didn't see that one coming. There we go. Oh, and yeah, oh, okay, well that one's high tower pitting, that's not my fault. I'm okay with that. Goodness gracious me. Sharia and Galloway pretty close together. Jonathan Dunk is starting to gain a little bit on Scornsey. Has been gaining a little bit on Scornsey for a little bit, but never been gaining a lot on Scornsey for a lot of bit. This is true. Sharia now really able to put the pressure on Galloway as he gets that Haas car close to the back of the Alpine, who actually has a little bit of a better run there through the Vale chicane and can gain a little bit of separation between the two of them. Blue flag, blue flag. Let's go on board with Jonathan Dunk as he continues his pursuit of Scorndizzle. He's very close up behind Scornsey now on those hard tyres. It's the hards versus the hards here in the battle for the final podium position. Jonathan Dunk has the DRS wide open, he has the slipstream. I'll tell you what Scornsey doesn't have is the ERS Lightwork setting the fastest lap of the race so far. He can pick up an extra point for that. Possibly, I'm not sure if he needs to be in the top 10 or not. It's not like I'm, the commentator or anything. Why would I know? Great move there though by Jonathan Dunk. Scornsey will want to come back at him though in that gorgeous green Aston Martin. I just absolutely adore that colour. It is magnificent. Knuckles picks up a 3-second time penalty, multiple warnings on the track limits. But nothing can limit Knuckles. The gap, 4 seconds between P1 and P2. Dace just needs to keep it there. He needs to not lose a second within a couple of laps. Let's hope those soft tyres hang on. Hashtag fuck no jug. Yeah, fuck no jug for real though. Sconesy staying close behind Jonathan Dunk. Sharia Coleslaw not exactly falling away from the back of M. Galloway either. DRS wide open now for Sconesy as he stays tucked up in the slipstream from Jonathan Dunk. Dace has lost a little bit of time this lap. He needs to not be doing that. I got excited for a second there, but it's not. No jug, that's the wrong way round, unfortunately. Hashtag fuck no jug. Dace may well lose this as well because he's dropped 3/10 in the last lap and there's still 2 more laps to go and he needs to not drop 6/10 from here. You can see no jug is really pushing as well. This is going to be close. If I had to bet though, I'd bet on no jug. Hashtag fuck no jug. Sleigh Rise picks up a 3-second time penalty. Multiple warnings on the track limits. Coleslaw on M. Galloway is pretty close as well, but Sconesy wants that P3 position back. Coleslaw a little bit too far behind as of yet. Through that last sector or so though, Dace's gap to no jug stayed around the same. He didn't lose any time, which is important for Dace. He needs to be not losing much time as we approach the final lap of this race. Sconesy still behind Jonathan Dunk, but for how long? Jonathan Dunk does have the DRS advantage as well. The DRS is with Sconesy. Maybe Sconesy's waiting for the final lap of the race before making this move. We will soon find out because no jug has now begun the fastest, the final lap of the race, I suppose is the correct way of speaking the language that I've been speaking for the past 21 years. I suppose not for the past 20, I wasn't speaking it when I was born. Anyway, I digress. It's 3.5 tenths now between No Jug and Dace. No Jug has hardly any ERS left to spare. Dace needs to use the little that he has left as well. 2.5 tenths is the gap. Hightower span at the final corner. No, he hasn't. It's DC Manaman. Oh, it's so close between Dace and No Jug. This is going to really come down to the wire. No Jug pushing all out for this win. Dace is also not resting on his laurels. I'm assuming he's going to use that ERS once he gets to the final straight, and that will be an advantage for Dace because No Jug is going to get there with less than 10% ERS, and his deployment is going to be very much limited. He's going to lose time down this straight. There's no way around that. Dace will gain time here. Let's go back on board with Sconesy. To 3 tenths now is the gap. Dace should have this one in the bag because of that ERS that we mentioned earlier, and this is it. It's the final countdown. Biloo-doo-doo-doo-doo. To the inside is Sconesy, to the outside is Jonathan Dunk, and Jonathan Dunk is going to retain that position for now. Sconesy will maybe look to the inside. No, he goes to the outside instead, trying to hang it around the outside of the entrance to the Vale chicane, but he can't get it done. He can look for the switchback here. Dace has won this race from No Jug, and Sconesy gets pinched a little bit there, and good defensive manoeuvring, but we've got it all to watch again as Galloway now has to defend from Sharia Coleslaw. But look at this, Sleigh Rise is getting involved as well. He does have a penalty though, so I'm not sure if it will count anyway. I think M. Galloway has this though. He can push Sharia a little bit wide here if he wants to. He's gonna, oh, he's stuck. So what is that trash control? Absolute AIDS nonsense. You deserve that. Lol. What's going on? I mean, what was that? You're in fourth gear, just going... You divvy. Anyway, Cynical, P8. Slayrized, P9. VTech, P10. Let's take you through the order thoroughly. We have Dace, P1. NLR No Jug, P2. Hashtag fuck No Jug. P3 is Jonathan Duncan. Let's just return to P2 to say once again, hashtag fuck NLR No Jug. P4 is Scornsy, and then P5 will be Fuse Rogue. Scornsy only narrowly missing out from Jonathan Duncan on the final lap. Sherry Coleslaw, P6 with M. Galloway in P7. He was only 4-7, only 4 seconds behind. When they got to the line, it was nip and tuck up until then. Jonathan Dunk, driver of the day. He would make one hell of a golf club. I'm glad nobody watches this because that was bad. I'm not even going to look at the podium because I'm not going to give them the satisfaction, but there, if you are looking at the podium, you will see 3 drivers on it. One of which is not cringe, 2 of which are. And that pretty much sums that one up. Hashtag fuck NLR No Jug. You fucking divvy. Don't know why it's decided to not play any sound there. Can't say it surprises me. It's this game. It's terrible. Well, there you are. Confirmation. Dace P1, NLR Nodrug P2, Jonathan Dunk P3, Fuse Rogue P5 with Scornsy in front of him in P4. Hey, smooth that one out. Sherry Coleslaw P6, Galloway P7, Cynical P8, Slayrized P9, MMR friends. Oh, sorry, you're odd. VTech P10, Knuckles P11, P12 is DC Manama with Deary Racing 803. You gotta not forget the 3 digits. Come on. 13th. Bang. Lightwork P14 in the Alpine. Hightower didn't finish, or did finish and was a lap down. Either way, no one cares. P15. And that is the end of the race, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed this if you're watching it back. Congratulations or commiserations on your race. Well done if you did well. Boo if you're a failure. And if you're NLR No Joke, then hashtag fuck NLR No Joke.